Welcome back to another What's for Dinner. You see me preparing some carrots for shepherd's pie. So I'm just getting some carrots and onions ready to go. That is what we're having as the first recipe. I just put them in my quick little chopper and chop them up nice and fine to add to the meat mixture. I make sure my meat is cooked and broken up. I'm adding some leftover roast beef we had, so I'm making sure that too is chopped up nice and fine. And then I just go ahead and add it to my meat mixture. I make sure that's in there and I just give it a good stir, breaking up any chunks. And I'm gonna heat it up the rest of the way when I am cooking these carrots and onions. So I just added all of the ones that I had broken up, and it wasn't quite enough, so I did quickly run another batch and I just mix it up. Now you can get creative with the vegetables you're going to add. I really just like the root vegetables, carrots, onions, garlic, so that's what we use. Here I am getting a pot heated up for some instant mashed potatoes just to be quick this night, as well as getting the garlic into this meat mixture. Making sure I mix that up nice and neat in the meat mixture. Moving on, once it's cooked, I can add the gravy sauce. I love this stuff. Makes such a nice thick sauce. You just pour it in with some water and let it simmer and do its thing. So as that's getting ready, the pot for the potatoes is ready. This is just instant, so easy button. You just pour them in, the potato flakes. I am doubling this batch, so I'm doing both packages as well as some milk. You just pour it in and make sure all of the potatoes are mixed in together really good. And you're gonna then just put the lid back on and let it sit for about 5 minutes or so. Now the meat mixture is ready, so I give it one final stir. And we're good to go. Thumbs up. So you get your pans ready. Like I said, I was doubling the recipe, so I have one for tonight and one for the freezer. You just want to make sure your pan is sprayed. Then what I do is I just evenly separate the meat mixture into 2 dishes, and then you just spread it out throughout the pan. This is the one for the freezer, so same thing, you just want to spread it out. I like to just smooth it out with my spoon. Make sure I get it all lined up. And that is the meat mixture portion. At this point, the potatoes are ready. I like to just take a fork and give it a good little whip just to fluff up the potatoes, and then I just sprinkle, scoop really, the potatoes over the meat mixture, and I just make sure with my spoon I'm also spreading them out. You can see that these instant potatoes are very thick, and something like this, like a casserole like this, I feel like the instant potatoes work really well. If I'm going to eat mashed potatoes, I would take the time just to make them. But for this night, quick and easy. So making sure the rest of the potatoes are going on that freezer meal. Same thing, I'm just spreading it out with my spoon. Making sure I get all the edges covered. Not wanting to hit the sides of this tinfoil dish too much. And I'm just lining it up. Now we like cheese on top of our shepherd's pie. You could leave that out if you're not wanting cheese, but I just use this shredded double cheddar, sprinkle it around, the top of both of them, and I do put it on the freezer meal as well and then freeze it as is, because then it's easy for when I'm ready to cook the freezer meal. It just goes in the oven. So there it is, ready to go. There it is, all cooked. I forgot to take the final shot, so my daughter's scoop is already out, but I clued in and then got that shot. Moving on to the next night, these are tater tots that we have in the oven for a side dish. My husband is helping. He's going to barbecue this steak for me. He's just pounding it to tenderize it a bit. And then my daughter is actually going to have one of these spicy Italian sausages because she's vegetarian. So I just seasoned this beef with a little bit of Montreal steak spice, as well as some taco seasoning, just to season it before it goes on the barbecue. I kind of just evenly sprinkle it on the top, and then I take a fork so my hands don't get all meaty. And then I put it on the pan. That's just some wax paper to protect the cutting board from, once again, the contamination with the meats. And then same thing to the other side. I'm just going to season it a bit with Montreal steak spice. Make sure I just sprinkle all of them, and then the taco seasoning. So that's ready to go for my husband to barbecue. And then I'm going to start with the peppers. So we're having steak fajitas this night, so I just wanted to heat up some olive oil in the pan. And then I go ahead and I slice up my peppers. I had a yellow pepper, a red pepper, and green pepper this night. So I just slice up a few thin strips. As you can see, not too much to it. And then I did have some onions, so I went ahead and sliced up an onion as well. Now I leave some peppers off to the side because some members of the family do not like cooked vegetables, so we leave them raw for them. And so these are ready to go into that warm pan. I always start with the onions. I like to give them a minute or two to cook before I add the peppers. The peppers really don't take very long at all. So here I just like to separate any chunks of onions I see and give them that head start. Once they're ready, I go ahead and add the peppers into the pan. And I'm going to season these as well. You really want to season every step. So I'm doing a vegetable seasoning. I just sprinkle it on. I really like this Clubhouse one for vegetables, as well as the taco seasoning. Because my daughter's vegetarian, she needs to have some of that taco flavor as well. So I just sprinkle them on the peppers. So these peppers, I'm just going to give them a quick toss and just kind of let them simmer and stir fry away. Can't forget to give those tater tots a flip. That's going to be the side for some of the kids. So once the peppers are well on their way, I add some garlic to the pan, about halfway. I'd like to say, and like cooking the peppers halfway and then adding the garlic. Just give it a good mix. And then once again, leaving the peppers to cook and do their own thing. I am now going to prepare some toppings for the steak wraps. Just some iceberg lettuce here that we put in a bowl so they can have some toppings on their wrap. I am preparing some broccoli here. I have been in love with broccoli salad this pregnancy. It is probably my favorite side right now. So I am preparing a little bit of that. I think I'm just making 3 cups just because there is some tater tots for the kids to have. This is mostly for Mom. So here again, like I said, some kids don't like cooked vegetables. So I'm going ahead and preparing some raw vegetables they can top their wrap with. My daughter likes to have the cooked vegetables as well as the raw vegetables, just different textures for her. So it's really nice to provide those fresh veggies as well. Here, I'm just grating some cheese we can top the fajitas with. It's just a medium cheddar. So this is how I make this broccoli salad. I have some broccoli and cauliflower there. I do about 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I'll splash that one. It's okay. Doing it over the container helps. So then I just kind of mix it all in together. Make sure they're all coated. I add some cheese, sunflower seeds. Just give it a good sprinkling. And then I usually add chopped onion, but I used all the onion, so I'm just using some dried onion here, some minced onion in the shaker. I'm just mixing it all up, and that side is ready to go. There's the beautiful steak we will slice up into strips, as well as my daughter's sausage. That's my daughter's plate there, vegetarian sausage on the bottom. And then mine, I have a wrap with some of that salad. It was so delicious. We enjoyed it very much. It was a good dinner. Now I'm moving on to a baking that I did with my daughter. We try to bake something every week. So this week we decided to try our hand at no-bake cheesecake. It was quite good. So we use graham crackers. It's easy to crumble them in the package, but some didn't get crumbled. So like you saw, I just kind of smushed them down with a spoon. Then we added 1/3 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of butter, melted of course. And we just kind of mixed that up. This was our crumb base. This is no bake as well. So with the brown sugar, the graham crackers, the butter, you just kind of give it a good mix. My daughter is helping really good, but I came in and helped her. And you just kind of want to mix it all up. So here is one of the steps my daughter just absolutely loves to do. She does such a great job. She lines the pans. We are making a cupcake, cheesecake. I guess I want to say bites, but there are quite a few bites. But they're little mini cheesecakes for the family. And so we are going ahead and lining this pan. She is working so hard at it, and she's doing a great job. You will notice here, she noticed that one is missing. It stumped her for a minute. She tried to find an alternate cup, but she is telling Mom right now, one's missing. And so I'm telling her it's okay, we'll find it. And then we did find it. It was actually still with the brownies that we had made previous. So we went ahead and just left that one out. So once the mixture's all mixed, you can really just press it into the pan. Now you could grease your cupcake pans or even use the liners. I just really like the silicone cups, and we have them. So I'm just kind of scooping a little bit of mixture into each cup and then pressing it down. And then there was quite a bit left over, so I thought we might as well get some into a pie plate. So I just scraped the rest into the pie plate and then went ahead and pushed it down just to cover the bottom of the plate. Then they go in the fridge. You're just gonna or the freezer, you're gonna freeze them for a bit. But my daughter is here pouting because she did not get a taste. She is complaining and letting it be known. I wanted a taste, Mommy. So Mommy scoops her a little bit so she can have a taste, of course. The helper always has to taste it. And she's telling me it's good. So now we're moving on to the actual cheesecake filling part. It is 1 container or 1 package of cream cheese. And then you just mix it up so it's soft. It is room temperature. And then we added 1/2 cup of white sugar. And we just kind of mix it in. Mom came and helped her because the cream cheese was a bit tough. But we wanted to make sure we mixed all that sugar in with the cream cheese. And then you're just going to add a whole container of your whipped topping. Now, if you can see, I just have like a no-name one, but you can use Cool Whip if that's what you have. You just use what you got. So, scraping that all, and then you just really fold the Cool Whip in with the cream cheese mixture. This is what I really liked. It was not too cheesy tasting, like cream cheesy. It was actually really delicious, and I would make this again for sure. My daughter is, of course, tasting a little bit more. She says it's so good, and yay, wants to be on camera. What a good helper. So now Mom's ready. The crusts are cool. So I'm ready to scoop the mixture, which it is thickening up after you folded the Cool Whip in. So I kind of just scooped a little bit into each cupcake cup. And then I took another spoon because that just ended up helping me. I just did a big dollop on each cupcake. And then I went through afterwards and smoothed it all out with the back of a spoon, just very gently. You are going to set these in your refrigerator. It said in the recipe for like at least 30 minutes, but we did them in the afternoon and we didn't eat them for a bit. So wonderful. Just kind of scoop them all good, making sure they're all smoothed out. There they are, ready to go. And the remainder of the topping just went onto that pie plate. I just kind of scooped it right out of the bowl there, and then used the spatula just to smooth it out all around. And if you had toppings like strawberry sauce or caramel sauce, that would be really good. But there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.